What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Real Time with Dan. And of course, today we've got a lot to get through. We've got some stories about, of course, the massive epidemic that is going on right now as we speak. We've got some channels to mention and just some other bits and bobs that I ought to bring you up to speed with. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and jump straight into the first one. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to go back to the previous episode, which of course I talked about with quite a bit of interest, some measures in stores. And a comment was left on it by this channel here called Skara Games. Now, personally, I do know this person, so just so you know, I've actually worked with this person out in the real world, so nothing to be said there. Anyway, so here it goes. So it reads, had first-hand experience with one of those types of arguments between a customer and another customer and staff members over the first customer trying to buy over the limit on an item at Asda Ashford. This was on Tuesday, so the day after the lockdown was announced. Tills were still open, close together, and there was no limit on people being let into the shop, but it was early and not overly crowded. However, due to this customer being on the self-scan checkout aisle behind me and with them arguing with staff, the staff were having to gather behind me and it felt very crowded. And with all of the shouting, caused me to have an anxiety attack. One of the Asda staff saw and directed someone to finish scanning my shopping for me while my other half paid, and another member of staff walked with me outside to get me out of the situation and stayed with me until my other half came out with the shopping. The Asda staff were very helpful too, and I'm very grateful to them. They are under a lot of strain, but are still doing their best to help. People do need to stop panic buying. It is only leading to shortages for those who need products. Had to go into Asda again today to collect a prescription and queuing to get in, which is reducing the number of people in the store, the lines and even arrows to help flow people around the store so that passing is avoided in the aisles, and only having checkouts open that are spaced apart has, in my opinion, made things better in this difficult time. Skara Games, I thank you very much for the comment, and I've got to say, like, my thoughts go out to you in that circumstance. Having an anxiety attack, it's no fun. And of course, yes, I agree 100%. All of that makes perfect sense. It's good to see that they've taken action. They've snapped into action. They've dealt with the situation. What's the word? They've dealt with it in a very respectable and very compassionate way. That's definitely what I like to see. And I've also noticed that, there actually have been even more measures taken. There are actually arrows, and there are even like glass, or I believe they're plastic or something, but there's screens in front of the checkouts now. So now they're actually doing something serious with this social distancing. So it goes to show that, these social distancing measures are actually they need to be made more serious, and that's the answer. But again, I do thank you very much, and I do hope that above all was well and good, and hopefully this doesn't happen again, for your sake. But anyway, thanks again very much for the comment. Anyway, so moving on from that, there's actually a few news articles of some pretty ridiculous people. Now picture the scene. So the government told us to stay at home and just not go out unless it's for essentials, exercise, caring for a vulnerable person, or going to and from work. I do not see any reason why this story is true. Look at this. So essentially, officers have just attended an address in absolute shock to find 25, and I'm going to emphasize that, 25 adults and children having a massive party with speakers and karaoke, and this was on the 30th of March, this article was posted. So this was very recently. So everyone was dispersed and hosts dealt with, but I'm going to just pause there for a sec. A karaoke party, like, who thought that would have been at least like decent. That's not social distancing in the slightest. That's basically everyone crammed into one space. Come on, man. We've been instructed, and you think it's okay just to go, yeah, you know what, like, let's just have an isolation party. Why not? There'll be karaoke, there'll be food. Bring your kids. Come on, man. Use your common sense. And the fact was, like, and this wasn't anywhere local near me. This actually was up in Derby. So clear to see that some people are beginning to, like, disrespect these guidelines, and I find it completely and utterly childish and very petulant. So to this person who did this, you need to think clearly next time, because that is actually stupid. Okay, I could not be more ashamed of the British population. I mean, that previous story with Skara Games, who I know personally, she had a bit of an incident. So, and obviously that did involve people getting a bit close. But then, of course, all that happened. But at least that sort of, at least they acted rationally. In this case, you acted completely and utterly like a petulant child, because you did not follow the government guidelines. All you did was simply disrespect them. So you should be proper ashamed of yourself, and you ought to be, like, thinking a bit clearer next time. Anyway, so with that out of the way, let's move on to the next one. Now, if you thought that one sounded stupid, I do firmly believe this other one, takes the cake. So picture the scene. So you're driving to and from somewhere to pick something up, right? And generally you won't have to drive too far. But in this case, this person in the next article drives, I think it's about a 220-mile round trip from, I think it was Salford to somewhere, I think it was Cheshire or something like that, I'm not sure. But that's as far as I know. But if I go in and check it out, now, already I'm beginning to cringe at this, but this is what this person put. So here we go. So, a driver deciding not to obey these lockdown rules was stopped by the police on the M6, who then found his wife sat in the boot of the car. In the boot of the car, I mean, like, what? What? In the boot of the car? I'm sorry, in the boot of a car, that's one of the most dangerous situations to ever have someone in. I mean, I heard a story, like, where people have been put in the boot and having their heads absolutely knocked out. Like, how did you think that was a good idea? I mean, the fact was, it's because he was picking up some windows. So, okay, so the journey was from Coventry to Salford and then back again. But the problem is, like, I just don't see how that would have ended well. Like, and even worse, of course, the police came and, the police came by, they told him to pull over, and then they discovered her in the boot. So, I mean, I'm surprised he wasn't arrested for attempted, like, abduction or attempted kidnapping. Like, I'm surprised, but the thing is, like, it was his wife, so in a way, like, but the thing is, I'm really not on board with that at all. I cannot think of anything more stupid. Like, in my opinion, I definitely would have just said, right, these are not going to fit. I think we'll have to consider maybe just leaving it. Like, maybe I'll just say, you know what, just leave it for now. We'll come back with maybe a bigger vehicle, or maybe, I don't know, get it delivered. I mean, but the thing is, the windows were 15 quid. So, I mean, well, if it was a church window, I literally would go, yeah, that's fine, whatever. But still, wife in the boot. I mean, seriously, mate, what is the matter with you? It just makes me chuckle, really. It really does. Like, it makes me chuckle, and it also makes me shocked. Like, I mean, talk about British ingenuity. I mean, that's more like British stupidity is more what I call that. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Just because that's non-essential, okay? That is non-essential travel, and it's not even like an essential, like, it's not food, it's not medical purposes, it's not exercise, and it's not going to and from work. So you may as well have just cancelled that order for the moment. I mean, unless, of course, I mean, hell, if it's a window that is, like, obviously in your house, then okay. But still, there are people out there that can fit your windows for you. There are window fitters out there who can do it for you. And, I mean, heck, if they're that big, maybe you should have considered that when you actually brought the car with you. Maybe if you had a van, that would have worked much better. And the thing is, like, his wife could not fit in the vehicle, so she was travelling in the boot for the return journey when stopped on the M6 just near Cheshire. And the driver was actually given a traffic offence report for the offence. Like, so in essence, it's kind of more like a warning, really. But I mean, yeah. And here's the best part: the public were less than impressed with the husband and the wife. The public is me, okay? The public is me. Like, mate, you should be ashamed of yourself. But I mean, heck, I mean, well done for trying. But I mean, I'm surprised she was not knocked unconscious. I'm surprised she was actually found alive. Like, for once in your life, that's just a big no. Anyway, so moving on, like, obviously with the epidemic and all that, you know, we now know that our leader Boris Johnson and the health secretary have come down with the virus. However, of course, the health secretary, I believe, did host the recent press conference. So fair to say, you know, I think it's fair to say he's recovered somewhat. I mean, I don't know, but that's for us to wait and find out. At the same time, you know, Boris is continuing to self-isolate, and of course, you know, with everything going on, you know, it's the only thing you can do, because it's what he told us to do, and it's what he's doing. So at least well done, Boris. You know, at least he's doing his job. And, you know, with everything going on, you know, and especially when it comes to when we were applauding the NHS. I mean, I know it was last Thursday. It's Friday now. It's Friday the 3rd of April, and yesterday on Thursday the 2nd, we decided to do it again. So we did it 2 weeks on the trot. However, I will admit I actually was left out on the first time, but let's not bother with that. So anyway, so moving on from that. Now I'm going to go ahead and just start bringing some channels into this. So over here. So now I'm going to say a few words. This YouTube channel here may not appear to have many videos or subscribers. However, I firmly believe this YouTube channel, I'm not sure how you pronounce it. Is it Kaja or Kaija? I'm not sure. I'll probably say Kaja. But this girl, I do know her. She actually used to work at Flip Out, and she even appeared in my Flip Out Ashford in first person video. She's a good friend of mine, and that's all there is to it. But apart from that, she is, you know, she does a lot of covers of songs. She had another channel, but this is her new one, and this, I believe, is her stage name. And, you know, the one that really got to me the most was her cover here of Titanium. Now, that's a song that I love very much. That's a song I love very much. I tried to mix up like and love. I don't know why I was saying there. Anyway, so she does also do a cover of Toxic, and this one here, which don't think I've heard of, Dancing in the Sky. It sounds like a very sad song, but, you know, that's sort of like, this one's more of a tribute to the ones who've fallen victim to this horrendous ordeal. And I firmly believe, like, I highly recommend you guys go and check her out, and I'll be leaving the link to her channel down below in the description, as well as up in the top corner right up here. I ought to go over some milestones, because there's been 2. Now, she's the girl who did the I Am Festival, the I Am book, as well as, you know, a lot of like mental health type talks. And if you know who I'm talking about, it's Stephanie Lauren Moore. She's reached 100 subscribers, and I got to say, you know, well done, Steph. Like, carry on what you're doing. I know it has been a while since you uploaded, and, you know, if you're not interested in checking out her channel, at least go and check out her Twitch. Both links will be down below in the description, as well as, of course, up in the top corner. Of course, you know, I've known her for a while. She's a lovely girl. She does a lot of cool things, and hopefully once this whole ordeal's over, hopefully there'll be a big plethora of events that she'll be hopefully getting involved with. Eventually, I would like to bring her on here and have a chat with her, see the direction of her channel, her career, and all that, because it is interesting. You know, like, what she does is very inspirational. Like, I went to the I Am Festival in Folkestone, and I have to say, you know, it was one of those events. It was definitely very inspiring. Of course, I mean, I've had to deal with some things in the past, and, you know, it definitely made me see the picture, or the better picture. But of course, you know, it's clearly for those, like, because she explains very well on her channel why. So if you want to go ahead and check out her channel, again, link in description. But she definitely deserves She definitely deserves way more subscribers, guys. So go subscribe to her. Go subscribe to Amber or Kaja, whatever you want. Anyway, and there's been another more major milestone for someone, and I can't even believe I'm about to say this. My man Osh HD just reached 2,000 subscribers. So heck, God almighty, man, you might as well be considering yourself a baller YouTuber, because you're getting absolutely so far ahead of me. It's ridiculous. You're almost like Usain Bolt, and I'm more like Miss Daisy. Like, gee whiz, man, you're doing so good. And heck, his videos are doing so well. Like, already, most of these videos are getting thousands of views, and most of them I know are streams, but the fact is, it's working for him. He's keeping it consistent. He's uploading constantly, and he's always, making his videos. He's doing it in his own way, and that's what I like. I like it when they provide original content with, like original commentary and everything like that. Because, Fortnite, of course, is still a very popular subject, even though Minecraft is slowly taking over. Actually, on the mention of Minecraft, I actually was trying to do a bit of that as well. A bit of a problem. I was recording it and I actually deleted the clips afterwards because the first time I recorded it was about 15 minutes long, and it decided that the audio would just be white noise. It would just go through and come through as shh. So I was like, oh god, no, I can't upload this. This looks disgusting. Or this audio sounds horrendous. So that was the end of that one. But the thing is, I'm trying to think of other things to do while I'm here in this like quarantine situation. I mean, everyone's in it. Actually, no, that's not true, because this is another article, but I haven't got it on here, but I'm going to just tell you it for what I saw. So there was a press release from Belarus. Of course, that's somewhere in, I believe it's Russia or whatever, or it's in Europe. And basically, it said, or I think it was I believe it was the president of Belarus. He said, "We are not going to be on lockdown. Vodka and saunas will kill the coronavirus." That's genuinely the words I saw on the screen, and I actually nearly wet myself. I thought, your optimism is rather funny, I have to say. Is that really the answer? Like, how come we didn't think of that? But to be fair to them, they have had a few confirmed cases, but they've had no deaths, so must be working for them. Why don't we give it a go? But it wouldn't work for me, that's for sure. I don't like vodka, so. But no, it is just, that is funny. I mean, and it does really it makes me wonder, how come Germany has had no fatalities? I suppose they probably got something up their sleeves, and they'll be willing to. They're only willing to tell us if we pay top dollar, which we're already paying top dollar just to keep the NHS running, who we actually are applauding. Every single one of those who works out there in the NHS, any key worker, should always, like, they definitely deserve, like, they deserve everything, because they are working so hard. They're keeping the population like assured that they are doing everything in their power to keep people in the game, if you know what I mean. Like, there's, like, we can't do anything to, like, we can't sit back and just let this virus ruin our lives. We need to do something about it. We've been plagued by lots of different viruses over the years, and we have done nothing but deal with them over time to eventually come up with either a cure, treatment, or a vaccine. And hopefully sooner or later, one will show up for this horrendous epidemic. So, anyway, if you'd like to join me for a moment of silence for those that have fallen, or if you'd like to turn over and go straight to Cage's channel and watch this video, Dancing in the Sky, covered by Cager, then please do, because I think it will definitely touch the hearts and the minds of many. So if you'd like to join me for a moment of silence, starting now. Thank you. And I think in that sense, I think we'll have to end it there. But I want to say thank you all for tuning in to the 3rd episode of Real Time with Dan. If you want to go ahead and check out any of the other episodes, then the playlist will be up in the top corner of this video. There'll be some links down below to the channels that I've mentioned, all 3 of them. And also make sure you go and check out any other videos of mine. Of course, you can just check them out on my channel right now. Make sure you hit the subscribe button if you want to see more of these, as well as making sure you hit the like button, as well as the bell icon, so you will not be missing any videos at all. And if you do enjoy these videos, and if you want to send me in any sort of stories or any sort of experience during this epidemic that you feel needs to be shared, make sure you send them down below in the comments, or if you want to send them via my email, dan.b.bryant@hotmail.com. Of course, if you want me to keep you anonymous, then just make sure you clarify that in the comment or the email so that I know. And hopefully I'll be trying to again make these because of course I was meant to film this the other day, but complications, let's not go into it too much. Anyway, so hopefully this will be, like, as I say, I'll be trying to get at least 1 out a week. Could be a chance of 2. I don't know. No guarantee, no promise, but I will promise 1 a week, at least 1 a week, and potentially more. We shall see. But anyway, I want to thank you guys so much again for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode. Take great care.